What's going on, y'all? My name is Czar, and this is my part 4 of my recording vocal series. The first part, we took a look at the microphone in the booth. Second part, took a look at setting the mic pre. Third part, we looked at recording with compression. And the fourth and final part we're going to talk about is recording levels. There seems to be a debate, or not there seems to be, there is a debate between other engineers of where you should record your levels at. Should it be -12, -18, -6? And as with most things, I'm going to say you should use your ears. There's not a, or at least for me, there's not a set number that I look at to stay at when I'm recording vocals. As long as I'm not clipping and as long as my signal's not too low where I can hear my noise floor and I'm somewhere in the middle and I'm happy with what I hear and I'm hitting record. So let's take a look at that. So I've got my input monitoring on so you can see in the mixer channel here. I'm at close to -24 dB on the meter. We talked a little bit about noise floor in the last one, but some people tell you to record really low and that'll help get rid of noise. That's not true. Recording too low, you're going to pick up too much of your noise floor. So if I'm just, again, quiet and not making a sound, if I'm not making a sound, the room and everything around me still makes a sound, and the microphone, of course, picks that up. That's your noise floor. You want to be sure to record above your noise floor. So I'm going to be quiet for a second and watch on the meter. You'll still see some signal, and that's my noise floor. So I'm getting about -48 dB of noise floor. So I don't want to record my signal too far down where that noise floor is, because what's going to happen when I go to boost the vocal, I'm going to also boost the noise floor. Or if you're adding compression, we know it turns down the loud parts and it's going to bring up the softer parts. Well, what is a compressor will bring up, the more compression you add, the more noise floor will come up. And that's why if you've experienced this before, you add a lot of compression to something, you'll notice that you're getting a lot of background noise now, and that's because the compression is bringing up the noise floor. So you always want to make sure to record above your noise floor. And you want to have a good signal to noise ratio. You want more signal than noise. So let's go up the meter and talk about clipping. Of course, we should never go above 0 in the digital world. And so, like I said, as long as I'm not clipping, as long as I'm not near 0, I just keep my levels somewhere in the middle. I always say that it's better to have to turn something up than to have to turn it down. Because, if you're clipping and then you record something that's clipped and then turn it down, you've still already clipped. So, you want to make sure you're definitely below 0. And, like I said with the mic pre video, a lot of times I'll push the mic pre and see how far I can go before that artist is clipping, and I'll know that from there to back it down. So, in that point, I'm keeping an eye on the levels. But, typically once I start recording vocals and got my level set, to know that the artist isn't going to clip, I'm not watching my levels too hard after that point, because I know how much headroom I've set myself with the pre. So it's a quick video, but that's just my take on recording levels. As long as it's not too low and as long as it's not too hot, as long as you're in the middle, because what's going to happen 9 times out of 10, you're going to turn down your track to record the vocals to, and then when it's time to mix, you're going to turn the track back up, which means you're going to most likely turn the vocals back up as well. So, if you boost your vocals too much, you're going to bring up too much of the noise floor if you record too low. Whereas if you keep it, somewhere, like I said, in the middle, and you boost it, you're okay, as long as you're still not clipping and hitting 0. And for those who like to go by numbers, you can use this method if you want for setting your recording levels. Like I mentioned a few minutes ago, you want to get a good signal to noise ratio. So think of it this way. You saw I was getting negative 48 dB of noise floor. So if you divide that by 4, for example, you get 12. So if you divide that by 4 and take that 12 and record it, say negative 12 dB, you know you have a 4-to-1 signal to noise ratio. You could do the same thing, divide it by 3 and use that number and have a 3-to-1 signal to noise ratio. That way you know for at negative 12 dB, you know that your signal is 4 times that of your noise. Alright, so that's my take on recording levels for my recording vocal series, and I'll catch y'all next time.